mean, he's quite the opposite. But they, yet in political terms, they almost revere each other. Their friend Susan Thomas has told me that they respect and admire each other totally in a political context, and that Bill has always been the chief strategist for himself and for her.
Whenever you think of Bill and Hillary Clinton in political terms, you think of Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt. She never formally ran for president, thought about it, Mrs. Roosevelt. And yet you recount an interview that Bill Clinton gave to the National Public Radio talking about the Roosevelts' relationship.
Right, and when I heard it, I thought, boy, he could have been talking about his own. What he said was that Eleanor and Franklin loved each other, said they had a bunch of children, but yet, and here was the really telling quote, he said they had deep pockets of estrangement and pain, and yet they stuck with what they had in common, and they both worked together for public service. And that deep pockets of estrangement and pain part really hit me, because there is so much of that in the history of Bill and Hillary Clinton's relationship, going all the way back, even to the beginning of their marriage. His well-known infidelity, and of course, going into the White House, the terrible scandal of Monica Lewinsky. Yet through all that, this glue has kept them together, running for election, holding office, pursuing their agenda, and it's kept them. And when they at the end of the sort of impeachment, the whole Lewinsky impeachment crisis, when Hillary decided to run for the Senate, it brought them back together again and even strengthened their bond. And they've been going to couples counseling, and Hillary later said, finally we could get back to something we could talk about other than our relationship.
You talk about the Lewinsky scandal in your book, Sally, and she became, after the initial hurt and shock, a full partner